Lean forward, ask her to come on. Pressure. So she's not straight, so I'm going to ask her to yield those hips over so that she's kind of, at first she was kind of shooting the gap. You're on the side. Okay, now let's go again. And if you'll do that, no matter, I say, back her up again. Lean forward, ask her to come on. Good girl. One more time. That was much straighter. Back her all the way off. Good, now come on. She's given some resistance, so I'm going to swing my stick. Okay, now just keep the pressure on. I might have to get closer to her. Now pressure, release. So even though she was loading really nicely, there she decided to be resistant. So I've got to be willing to put some pressure on her to get her convinced to try something else, to come forward.
It seems like me tapping on her shoulder doesn't do the same effect as you tapping on her shoulder.
I think there's a couple things to it. One is keep your pressure on your lead rope so the halter stays tight. And then my pressure, so move those hips over. Pressure. So she's not straight, so I'm going to ask her to yield those hips over. And she might even kick out at this stick. Hopefully not, but it might have. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to keep that pressure going till she comes on. So right there I was working on getting her straight and coming forward. So you say when you ask with pressure with the stick, it's not effective for her. It's all a matter of, well, one is keep pressure on the halter. Two is keep consistent pressure with your stick. So there's a certain rhythm that you have to have, and it can be whatever rhythm you want, but it needs to be rhythmic. So if you ask her like this, and then you stop, and then ask her like this, and then you stop, you're just teaching her to ignore your stick. So here's my rhythm. So I'm circling. She's not coming. Well, if she wasn't, then the circle would turn into tap, 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 but I would keep that rhythm going. The rhythm is important, and that's what my intern Steve and I have been working with our horse training with him is getting him to be rhythmic with that request. Rhythm, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when she sees that rhythm, she's going to be it's consistent rhythm, and she knows it's coming, it's going to tap her. And once I tap her with it, I need to continue to tap with rhythm, and then tap harder with rhythm. So just keep that rhythm going. Tap, tap. Good girl. Okay, I'm going to let her hang out in here, eat some hay. Now I'm just going to pretend like we're going to go to the vet. So I'm going to put that rope through.
I got it. Oops,
Oh.
You got it too.
And then she's pretty good with that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Some horses will load easily, and then it's hard to get this shut because they panic, especially off the track thoroughbreds.
Well, in this you kind of have to do a little bit of a slam.
Oh, huh, to get it to shut. So I'm not going to shut it, but just practicing. Now, if I had a horse that...
She does paw a lot when she's in there.
Yeah.
She really digs a hole.
So pawing in the trailer is just another indication that she's not necessarily comfortable in there. The biggest thing is once her eye is healed and you can actually move her feet and at a faster pace, at a trot, a lope, then you might want to start working her feet outside the trailer and then letting her come in here and relax and rest. Then you might like work her for 30 minutes, get her in a kind of a sweat, lathered up, get her in here for a break, give her a drink of water, get her in here for a break, let her eat some hay, shut the doors, drive her around for a little bit, and then stop and just let her rest in there. If she starts pawing, open it up, take her out, move her feet. And usually, most horses over time will start to figure out the trailer is their favorite spot to be. And they become really magnetized to the trailer. And all that pawing and that nervousness in the trailer tends to go away because they feel comfortable in there. They know they're going to get to rest in there. Okay, one more time. I'm going to back her up and then ask her to come back on. Then I'll give her over to you. So with her, straightness is a big deal. Like she tends to be a little crooked when we're backing off. So I want to, if I'm backing her off, I want to keep her straight when I'm backing her off. If I'm moving her on, I want to keep her straight when I'm asking her to get on. So she's kind of stepping off the right side of that ramp. See, she's not in a big hurry to get off now. What you don't want to do is back up right here, and then if she goes sideways, let's say she goes sideways like this, then you just let her rest right here. That's the last thing you want to do. Even if you're going to rest her out here because you're done, you want her to back up straight. And when she's nice and straight, then give her a break. Okay, any questions before you try her? Okay. And don't worry, if you can't get it, I'm going to help you through that. That's what I'm here for. Okay? And the whole world's going to see this, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're live right now.
Good, I liked how you redirected her feet. She started to lead you. Maybe do that one more time. Redirect her into a circle. Good. And then just walk on the trailer. Keep that pressure on. Good. Just keep it on. Keep it on. Keep it on. Right there. She's straightening out. Release your pressure. Don't worry about that. Ask her again. Keep your pressure on. Keep it on. Keep it on. Keep it on. Good. A little more. Good. Right there. And release. Ask her again. Now go ahead and walk up in that trailer. Now she's crooked there, so work on getting her straight. Just keep pressure on, pressure on. Keep your pressure on. And right there, that's pretty straight. Good. Now ask her to come on again. Aha, beautiful. Then when you start with your stick, make sure, there, very good. Make sure that you make small circles with your stick, and then you tap her with it. That's pretty good. So you did two things really awesome there. You closed the gap in this corner so she couldn't go over the ramp between you and the trailer. That's one. And the other is you asked her with pressure until she aligned herself straight. Because she's trying to veer off to the left and put her butt over. So just put pressure on her till she straightens out, release your pressure, and then start again. So remember, try to get one thing at a time. So if she's not straight, get her straight, then release your pressure. Then ask her to move on. If she goes crooked again, get her straight, then ask her to move on.
Okay.
But release your pressure when she's being crooked, and then get straight, release it there, then ask for the straight, or for the load. That was really good. Okay, now go ahead and back her off, and then just back her all the way off the ramp, and then ask her to come back on.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Girl.
And I don't mind at all that she's taking her time to get out. Okay, now go right back on.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. You need to get you better hay.
Now, one of the things I notice is sometimes you want to try to, especially with the shorter lead rope, you want to keep the lead rope in your left hand, stick in your right hand. Don't put that stick in your left hand. If you want to rub on her, I guess you could put the stick in your left hand to rub on her in there. That would be fine. But when you're in the transition of backing or coming forward, just keep that stick in your right hand so you're ready.
Okay.
What you don't want to do, it's like when you're managing reins in the saddle, you don't want to have to release your pressure to re-grab a rein, because that release is what you teach them with. So if you release when they're not doing the right thing, so you can re-grab, then it's just real ineffective. So if you have to change the stick to the other hand while you're trying to ask her to move forward, it's less effective. Is all. So if you have your stick ready and the lead rope in the correct hand, then you can automatically start to circle your stick. Now, when you're asking her with the stick, remember, and let's just practice this right here. Just do a circular pattern the other way. That's it. Yep. It's kind of over the top, forward and over the top. There you go.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, go ahead and back her off. So back her off and load her, let's say 5 times. And if she gets real resistant to backing, you might bump down on that halter a little bit.
Back up. Back up. Come on, I know you're still eating. Come on.
See, this is kind of a good problem to have where she's not backing up because she's afraid. I think she's not backing up because she likes being in there. That she straightened out nice.
Back. Back. Back.
And this is where that rope halter come in real handy, because you get a little more pressure on the nose.
Oh, yeah.
But if you have to, and she's just not listening to you, and you're jerking down and she's not listening, then you might have to turn that stick over to a ski pole position and tap her on the chest with it. Get her all the way off, and now ask her to come back on. Good pressure. Excellent. Keep going. Keep pressure. Good. Bingo.
Good girl.
Okay, now do it 4 more times, but don't let her rest in there. Just go back and forth 4 times, and then after the 4th time, then you can let her rest in there. So this is just our repetition stage. We're really going to do it multiple times.
Back. Come on, back up. Back up. Back. What are you doing? Come on. Back.
I liked she straightened out a little bit there. That was good. Very good. As soon as she steps off, ask her to get back on. Right there. That's 1. Now back her up. Don't let her stop. Just go, back her up. Good.
Back. Back. I know you got your foot turned, huh? Go. Back. Back.
Smart horse.
Yeah. All the way off. Right back on. Excellent. As soon as you get in there, back her up again. 2 more times.
Back, 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 back.
And back. Straight back on. Keep the pressure. Keep the pressure. Good. She straightened up. Bingo. Very good. Okay, one more time. Come back off. Now, if she comes off this time, so we got to work on one thing at a time, but if she comes off this time, she gets off the ramp and she's crooked, straighten her up towards the trailer first and then ask her to get back on. Beautiful. That's much straighter.
Good girl.
Now go right back on. That was the best one yet. Now get her up in there, rub on her. Let her eat some grass or some hay. Put your lead rope through and go ahead and shut her in there. Excellent. Now we'll let her hang out for a little bit. Now I'm known for, do it one more time. Sometimes that gets me in trouble. But what I think we should do is let her hang out there and talk for a little bit.
Okay.
Then we'll take her out, take her around, actually put her in her stall, release the lead rope, step out of the stall, wait a few minutes, catch her, take her back over here and load her. Let's see if you can just load her right in.
Okay.
Because this is kind of, right now she's in the automatic mode. Step out, step on, step out, step on. Now we're gonna break that pattern, go over there, and let's see if you can do it from there. Okay. So what are some of the things that you feel like you've come away so far with this session? Learning anything that you've learned that might be helpful when you take her to the vet on Thursday?
With her, it's just keeping her calm. If her anxiety goes up, it's hard to bring it back down to where she will do calmly things again.
Uh-huh.
Her mind just switches.
So did you see her mind switch today?
Only when she bolted.
When she bolted with you? Okay.
But
so,
even after that, it was like she was back to normal fast.
Yeah. So if in a moment where she kind of loses it and isn't connected to you, what are you going to do in the future? If you go to lead her on the trailer and she starts to freak out, let's say you ask her with some pressure and she starts freaking out and kicking out or something, what are you going to do? Don't release your pressure. That's the key, right? Don't build your pressure, but don't release it. So you got to build your pressure to where she wants to. She's trying to find the way out of it, and then maintain that pressure until she does. No matter what she does. Remember we were talking about like how she would raise her head up, and you didn't want to do anything that would make her raise her head up. Well, and this was back during her training.
Right.
My point was, it's okay for her to raise her head up. I'm not worried about that. It's not about avoiding her raising her head up. It's about releasing the pressure when she moves her feet. Once I release the pressure when she moves her feet, pretty soon she starts learning to lower her head, because it's not the raising the head that's going to get the pressure away, it's the moving of her feet. So naturally she'll start to move her feet and lower her head some. And so when you ask her with pressure to get on the trailer, just maintain that pressure. If she's trying to find the answer, You know, if she really freaks out, maybe you asked with too much pressure, possibly. But you want to maintain that pressure. And if you feel like you asked with too much pressure, lower it, but maintain some pressure. And then as soon as she starts taking the smallest step, even if she were to back all the way over there to that Jeep, and she's freaking out, backing up, freaking out, backing up, go with her, go with her, go with her. I'm her, right? You're going with me. And then if she finally stops and she's like, okay, boom, release your pressure there, not up here, there. Let her stand for a second and then ask her again. But I wouldn't let her stand for more than a second. Just long enough for her to realize she did the right thing. So it's like, oh, okay, now let's go again. And if you'll do that, no matter, I say it's direction, not location. I taught that in the clinic too. Direction, not location. What does that mean? She's going the wrong direction back there. What's the location we want? Here in the trailer. But we don't have to get that right now. We just have to get the right direction. So direction, she's going the wrong direction all the way to the Jeep. Finally, she stops and decides to go forward. That's your correct direction. That's where you release the pressure. Then ask her again. And pretty soon, then that's how you get them on the trailer. Then ultimately, location is what you're wanting, but first you want direction. Okay, she's rested long enough. Now let's just take her out, take her to a stall, give her a little break, and then come back and load her. All saddlebreds, huh? You want me to lock this?
Nah, typically it just hangs open.
Okay. Now, before you take her back her off once, ask her to get back on, and then back her off and take her back. I like she's starting to back straighter. That's really good. Now there she got crooked, so straighten her out. Keep asking. Keep asking. Little more pressure. There. Ask her again. Very good. Now ask her to get on. Very good. So that wasn't real pretty, but you did it. You got her on. Now let's take her over to her stall, turn her loose, and then bring her back.
Back up. One last bite. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Now, see how she's moving her shoulders to the right? So I want you to back her and go the other way, to her left. Good. And then now you can lead her forward and go around. But anytime she gets crooked, just go the opposite direction. Her mind's in a pretty good place right now. I love it. Good job. This is a nice hay barn. Put a few bales of hay in there, mate. Good girl. Good girl, Sydney. Has that happened before where she bolted from you? And
No.
No?
No,
Oh, man.
no. And normally she would take care of me versus anyone else.
Yeah.
So that's for her to run me over.
Yeah. She's pretty jacked up in the
Yeah,
moment.
but I had my hands full and I couldn't
It was,
stop her.
yeah.
But I wouldn't have been able. I think she was just so gone.
You might have been able to turn her if you had just both hands on the rope.
Yeah.
See, my goal today would be to get you to be able to get her on in any circumstance, and I think you're there. I think you've being able to closing that gap and keeping the pressure on until she straightens up, and then pressure till she goes forward. Those are the two main keys. It seems like it's working for you and her.
She was doing great last winter.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's so intelligent. She knows what's going on. She knows she's going to go to the vet. I'm guessing that's what.
But she was in so much pain.
Yeah.
That it just. Yeah, her mind was elsewhere
Yeah.
with the pain.
And you said she's going to be doped up when she comes back, which is
Yeah.
it when she is doped up, is it harder to get her on? Or is it easier?
Well, last Thursday when I tried, I knew it takes 40 minutes for the dopamine to work, to put her down enough to where she's petrified of needles. So the vet has to give her a needle in order to actually put her down enough to actually where the other vet could look at her eye, right? So she has to have Norm enough for the vet to give her the needle in her neck. And so since that takes 40 minutes, it's like, okay, I started 2 hours ahead of time.
Oh, so you're saying
so-
when you take her to the vet, you have to you give her something?
Normally I wouldn't, see. So, but in that first hour, she just was having nothing to get on it.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it was
yeah.
And she was just sky high. So it was like, I had
So
to
you-
give her the Dorm so that way when I got to the vet, she'd be okay, right?
Okay.
And so we didn't have no more time at the vet to let her get sedated. So I gave her a little bit of the Dorm. That didn't do anything, so I gave her the full amount. And then she got dull. She just, no matter if you hit her, tapped her, she wasn't doing anything. And she was just flat refusing. So it was like, I couldn't get her to the vet. You know, it started getting dark. So it was like, okay, I got to put the trailer back. So it was like, so we put her back in here. I was with her for 4 more hours that night, and she was still not. She was exhausted. She was exhausted and being drugged. It was like she couldn't have food or anything. I stayed here till 9:30, 10 o'clock that night, and it was like, she was exhausted.
Okay, so let's talk about Thursday coming up.
Yeah.
So Thursday coming up, you're going to give her Dorm before you load her?
No, I'm not going to.
Because
I want to wait until she's there, but I need to get her there.
Okay. So
at least
last
an hour
Thursday
before the appointment, so that way
Then you can give it-
I can
or-
give her the Dorm there, and then the vet can do what
Okay.
she needs to
Gotcha.
do.
I think that's the smartest thing to do. Yeah, make sure she's all with it, has all her faculties in place, load her, take her over there, then give it to her when she's over there.
But then I have to bring her back,
Okay. So
and so she's going to be drugged when I have to bring her back.
what you might have to do, and you can let me know how it goes, but you probably just have to increase your pressure. You know, if she's drugged and just feeling sleepy and not really wanting to go anywhere, you're just going to have to put a little bit more pressure on her until she's like, oh, okay, I better move forward. That's probably what you're going to have to deal with. I don't think you're going to be dealing with her kicking out at you or anything. Most likely, it's going.
That's when she was at the height of the drug kicked in. No, she couldn't kick out. She wouldn't. She would just stand there, but she would just flat refuse. And no matter how much pressure, there was no going forward. Now, it may be different if she's at the vet's and she wants to come home.
Yeah, because at one point she had her surgery and stuff, and she was drugged, and she came on the trailer.
Yeah, so the first time we tried and I had help, she was horrible. That was when she got into the backing up and pulling you. A couple days later, she broke the line again, so it was like the vet was here and it's like, we're loading her. And so just between me and the vet and the tech, we just quietly, the vet wants to feed her and try to get her in with the food, and it was like
getting herself a nice roll.
Yeah, normally I don't see her roll.
Huh. She got a little sweaty out there.
So it was just, but the vet stayed really quiet with her. It took us 40 minutes, and then it was like all of a sudden she got the front half in, and she just like, okay, and she walked right on. And it was like that. The vet's like, that's what you were saying. I'm like, yeah, it's got to be her idea. If it's her idea, she will just go right in, and she goes right up to the front, not a problem.
So now I think, this is what I'm going to say honestly about that situation and about that idea that it has to be her idea.
Yeah.
I think you can convince her a lot easier for it to be, horsemanship is all about making it, you put the pressure on so that they try to figure out how to get out of that pressure. That becomes her idea. She's trying to figure out, okay, how do I get out of that pressure? So it really is it's her choice. We're not forcing her to get on, but we're making it difficult for her not to get on. So just keep that in mind. It's not that she's just going to take her sweet time and get on when she chooses. It's that she's going to choose to get on because she wants to move away from that pressure. Okay, go ahead and grab her and we'll take her back and load her. And go ahead and put her on and then lock her in just like you would, and you're going to drive her out of here.
Good girl.
That was awesome.
That was a good girl.
Okay, go ahead and shut her in there. Good job. That's good enough. Now you can open it up, back her off, load her one more time, and then we'll back her off and call it a day. Good job correcting that.
Back. 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 Good girl.
Good job. Okay, when you back her off this time, this is the last one. You can back her off, but if she backs up crooked like this, just back her in a circle until she straightens out, and then turn her this way to go. I like that. That's pretty good. Good. Now still bring her to her left, and then you can take her back. Good job. That was awesome. All right, Sarah, that was a fun session this morning.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you learned something about trailer loading? Do you think it was helpful? Do you think you're going to be able to get her loaded on
relearning.
Thursday? Yeah. That's horsemanship is repetition of the right things, right? And horses will get better and better and better if you repeat the right things, and so will we. I think you did a great job of learning to keep her straight and keeping your pressure on to get her on, blocking that hole so she wasn't walking between you and the trailer, because she already knows how to get on. We're not trying to get her comfortable with getting on the ramp. We're just trying to convince her that getting in is the best thing to do and not mess around. She likes to jack around a little bit and avoid getting in the trailer, partly because she probably doesn't want to go to the vet, and partly because she's very strong-minded, strong-willed, and she's real intelligent. So if she can figure out how to get out of something, she's going to do it. So I think you did a great job.
And she figures me out really well.
Yeah, and horses are really great at that. Sydney's the best at it. She's very good at trying to be your leader. So learning to be her leader, being real certain about what you want and what you're trying to accomplish. First and foremost, getting her straight. Secondly, getting her to move on. And if you just maintain that pressure, even if she's getting squirrely and backing up, just go with her, wait for her to move forward. And I think you're going to be fine. Let us know how it goes on Thursday, and thanks for letting us come out.
And are you going to be available?
On Thursday? We'll talk.
Because they actually have me wanting to come down in the morning, even though it's an afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that way they know she's there.
Oh, yeah.
And so.
Honestly, I don't think you're going to need me. I think you've got it. You have the tools to do it. And, you've been to a couple of my clinics. She's been through some training with me. So I think you're going to be fine. And I really appreciate you letting me come out and working with Sydney and working with you. And thank you guys for watching House Calls with Luke. Are you the next house call? I look forward to working with you. Talk to you soon.